and on Neo Planet S, we're getting this best of 3 started between the red Zerg player spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. He represents FM Esports. It is none other than Ourk. And he is going to be going up against the blue Protoss player in the top right-hand corner. No doubt getting a tip or two from Stardust here. Very strong European team now. My Insanity. How will he do? How is his PVZ? It is ABomb.
Now, we did start that a little bit early. It's 100% my fault. I was put in charge of pressing one button.
That's true.
And I did a bit too quick. I'm sorry, Joris.
You were so excited about the button. That's okay. No one noticed that we got into the game a minute in. It was totally fine. If it was a 6-pull, then we would have been like, oops, sorry guys. But no problemo.
It's fine. Everything's going good. Now, of course, Ourk, for those of you who don't know him, who don't know his playstyle, or really the big thing, he can play all 3 races at GM level, can't he, Joris?
Yeah, that's true. I believe he plays Zerg and Terran a bit more than he plays Protoss. But he can definitely alternate between Zerg and Terran at a level where you would just go, well, this guy's just a solid GM player, whatever. So that makes him a pretty dangerous opponent to meet. I almost wish he would enter an I-Series as a random player. I think that would be really cool. But we haven't had that happen just yet. Or have we?
I think the trouble with going random in like a competitive tournament is people will just start cheesing you all the time. It's really frustrating. So, always something to look out for. Meanwhile, Ourk, he went for the pool into hatch, all looking good. Meanwhile, Nexus first coming down from ABomb, and on Neo Planet S, I know they say this is a 2-base map.
Yeah, they do say it's a 2-base map, and by they, I mean you most of the time when they end up going for 5-base macro. So we'll see if that ends up happening. Don't forget, Ourk? Okay, he's maybe not quite as macro-focused as Johnny Rico, for example, but as soon as he sees that the Nexus come down first, I would expect that third hatch to pop down very, very quickly indeed for our Zerg player.
Yeah, it's a safe thing to do. It should be this third. Some players opt to go to the one to the north. I personally think that that's a bit more dangerous because you can get these 2 very nice entrances while still getting simultaneously attacked into your natural, which is a little bit dodgy. Whereas this one, you can make sure that nothing comes down through past these rocks quite easily. I
guess it depends on your attack routes. If you take this third that you can see the probe is at now, and then as long as you attack on the bottom, I suppose it's okay, because your attack route is pretty close to where they would come in and attack you anyway. Whereas if you were going via the top route of the map, you'd probably want the other third, right?
Yeah, it still depends. This is generally just the better third to have because you can easily make sure that you can't get taken out here. And it's also to do with things like this structure. You can put a pylon here and come either way round, which makes it a bit more awkward. This is also larger areas of space. This way, you can actually make sure you defend this area really quite nicely, and this is the only real location for a proxy. If you come the other side, you've only got to worry about defending your natural and your third simultaneously, so it's just easier that way. But
yeah, that's a great analysis there, Maddles. I completely agree.
Now,
yeah,
Cybercore, everything looking fine.
That's right.
Stargate, Robo, or Twilight Council. What's your money on, Joris?
My money is on Robo. I'm going to cast a Curse the Robo.
Stargate.
Okay, let's do it. Between us, we'll get everything. I wouldn't worry about it. Continue to Chronobeast probes.
This is why Koreans TriCast.
It's true. It's like one guy has to say Twilight now. It's just the thing. Of course, yeah, at the end of the day, like, tech choices just are a little bit more diverse with Protoss, I guess. It just feels that much easier to sort of switch between one and the other, and maybe delay making a commitment just a little bit. On the other hand, I mean, Ourk's just macroing it off of 3 base. He knows that his opponent went Nexus first, so it's not like he has to commit to something this early, and, well, there was a 4th answer, wasn't there, Metals?
There was a Nexus, a really quick third. That was like 6 minutes 15? That's pretty crazy. Ourk needs to see this. There's no other choice. He's got to scout it, and really has then got to go and deny it. If you let this stay up, you will suddenly have everything a Protoss army can consist of at your door.
And, very nice scout, though. Great timing from the Zergling there. So, at least it's spotted immediately from Ourk. And he's immediately got his Roach Warren down as well, which I like. He got the Roach Warren up, crucially, by the way, before he scouted the third. So it was more just, hey, let's make sure we have this up so that we can pump Roaches in case of a 2-base timing. But now he knows his opponent's playing a bit greedy.
Yeah, I'd say...
Robo!
Oh no, the Zerglings are going to get this round. Oh, but a little bit of missed micro there allows ABomb to actually pick them off. And that many Zerglings cannot kill 2 Zealots. It's just impossible if you do get that misstep. Otherwise, it would have just been very close.
And in the meantime, called the Robo. Slightly later, and we've got 4 gateways coming in. Of course, a lot of them are to block off the ramp at the 3rd. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Metals. These Zealots, worth their weight in gold right now. They're gonna die, but they've killed a lot of Lings between them.
And these Lings are not now going to be able to have a very fun time of trying to pick off this 3rd because the photon cannon's down. And that is what ABomb was trying to buy time for. Look at the Sim City as well. So little surface area achievable from these Zerglings.
They're going to try... Oh, well, they won't be able to pick apart a gas by the looks of things. That's going to be the little consolation prize that Ourk has right now. But that can get cancelled or indeed just get destroyed. And, yeah, Ourk wisely not doing anything else in this 3rd. He knows if he walks in here and an army follows him in, he basically can't save those Lings.
But look at this, double proxy pylon is down to the other side of the map, Jorisar. Zealots are going to go for some counter-aggression, and there is not much to defend here.
Yeah, it's this could be very tricky indeed. If we take a look at the number of gateways up right now, it is 5. And, well, creep's not spread between the natural and the 3rd right now. They are focusing down... Oh, they were focusing down the hatchery. They're now going to be picking up as many workers as possible, which I think is definitely the right choice. A lot of Lings going down, and Ourk scrambling out a little bit.
Remember, +1 is done for these Zealots, so they 2-shot the Zerglings. That means that they're incredibly efficient, especially before the Roaches come out. 4 are on the way, but just look at the damage being done here. Yeah,
this is actually insane. The amount that our Protoss players been able to do. I mean, Ourk right now, he's lost 500 more minerals worth of resources than ABomb so far this game. He's done continuing with another warping of Zealots. As the Roaches come in, they'll get less effective, but up until that point, I mean, he's just doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, he's picked off a grand total of 16 workers that Ourk had there, so 16 less drones is going to be pretty painful, and at the same time a Warp Prism headed up into the main base, and suddenly a couple of workers are going to get killed here, and critically, the Spire is going to get spotted.
Oh, very, very nice play so far from ABomb, really showing us some great PvZ right now. Needs to be careful with his composition moving forward, though. Pure Zealots aren't going to last long once Ourk gets a sizable number of Roaches up.
The thing is, he doesn't have a sizable number of Roaches. 9 are about to pop out, but they're coming on each of the different bases. The next warp-in is going to be Zealots once more. The final Roach is trying to get taken out, will go down there, but as we can see, more Roaches now streaming their way forward. But look at this, Zealots checking around everywhere. ABomb knows he's done good damage.
Yeah, I think Pure Zealots against a player that has Roaches is basically the blunt hammer approach to gaming. You're not going to be going in for some really cool surgical strikes. You're not blinking out with Stalkers or anything like that. You're just going in there doing as much damage as you can and say, well, you don't have a critical mass of units that's going to make me not want to make these yet. And by the time you do, I'll have a lot of workers killed.
Now, with the Roaches out, this really shuts down this Zealot-only play, but this 3rd hatch, that's got pretty damn low, only 435 health points after a transfuse came down from the Queen too. This is the sort of target which later on, well, an Immortal drop, for example, which with the Warp Prism out is always a possibility, could snipe that down very fast.
We got the Twilight Council about to complete now as well for ABomb, so we'll keep a close eye what kind of tech is going down there. In the meantime, we see an Evolution Chamber popping down here for Ourk. Still only just the one so far, so we'll be keeping an eye on those upgrades, and the Spire is going to be researching that +1 air weapons.
Of course, +1 ground weapons is already done here for, obviously, ABomb. He's getting +1 armor down 2 for ground, but the thing is, these Muters could actually be a bit of a pain. However, ABomb, he scouted the Spire. He knows it's there, knows that they're probably coming, but has chosen not to get down the double Stargate.
Interesting choice. Instead, going to be going for 4 more gateways. So it looks like ABomb, maybe off the back of the success of his earlier pressure, just wants to flood with gateway units and maybe go again?
He's getting a shrine down, so I think it's going to be DTs, but all these Roaches sniping off one of the Zealots, but no way to deal with the Warp Prism until those Muters hit.
That's right, and I'm a little bit concerned because we only... Oh, the Warp Prism going to get caught up by the Muters here, and it will get taken out. 3 Zealots are going to pop right next to where all these Roaches are, so they won't pick off this hatchery. And my concern, Metals, is that +1 ground armor for Ourk has only just started at the 13-minute mark. He's actually going to be fairly behind on those upgrades.
He's hugely behind. 1-1's already done for ABomb. He's going to have 2-1 done by the time that 0-1 is finished for Ourk. Big upgrade lead, but +1 flyer attack is going to be in first, and we can see those Muters are about to try and do some damage. Should get the gateways, but the cannons will defend the mineral line.
It looks like Well, I mean, one nice strategy is for the Mutas to sort of pick off the gateway so that Lings can flood in. And are we going to see some Lings behind this? There's pool units on the minimap over there. And they are roaches, but Ourk's not moving towards the third base right now. So maybe just preparing for later.
Now the Dark Shrine is just finished, but unfortunately the proxy pylon that was down in the bottom right of the map has been taken out by Ourk. That means no quick warp-ins there. They could have been essential, but also the option for Archons is still available. And those Archons are actually going to be key in dealing with the Mutas because of the splash damage they deal to air.
4 Dark Templars have been warped in. They are now moving out across the map to try and get some damage done. We'll be keeping an eye on them, 2 in each direction, and they haven't yet been spotted by Ourk.
Ourk is trying to take a sneaky base up in the top left while moving in with these Mutas, but DTs, very sneaky times.
We are indeed both players going for that sneaky stuff there. Mutas coming into the natural, but hey, there are cannons to greet him. In fact, 4, a decent number, and now the DT's trying to pick off this third base. And look at that, Overseer there, preventing that from happening. That third base has been on under 500 hit points for how long now, Maddles?
Like, I don't know, probably about
the whole
9
game?
minutes or so. Yeah, it's always been nearly dead. It's so ridiculously low at the moment, though, that Ourk's got to be concerned.
One more DT.
Is he going to be able to do it?
Nope.
No, he can't, the Lings. Oh, ABomb, even with the sad face there. Poor ABomb.
Yeah, well, he knows he was being cheeky, hence the happy face behind it. He's warping in 3 more DTs. He's not going to stop anytime soon. And I think these... Oh, actually, these are just going to become straight-up Archons, so... ABomb here,
he needs that against the Mutalisks.
Yeah.
That's why he needs the splash damage. But
good shout.
Remember, ABomb's ahead, 75 to 61 workers. And he's been on equal bases until just a moment ago when this 4th finished up. I'd say ABomb is still in a very good position.
That's a really good point, actually. I mean, he's at 170 supply versus 188 at the moment, and Protoss units, of course, can be a lot more efficient, rather. So let's see if he can make that stick. The Mutas continuing to harass the third base, and ABomb doesn't know about the top left yet.
No, he doesn't, and this is where really the drones just start to transfer on and up. But the Mutas are the big concern. I'm so surprised that it's just Blinkstalkers and Archons. When you've seen that a Zerg is getting this many Mutalisks out, usually a Protoss player will chuck down those double Stargates to get the Phoenix, because it's the only way to deal with this really sizable number, which at 26 I'd say that counts. Yeah,
I think the issue is if he chucked down that double Stargate, he would have had to do it a lot earlier, because if he put even a triple Stargate down now, it just takes so long to get enough Phoenixes to deal effectively with these. So maybe he's going the Gateway-centric force for that reason, but a big battle here at the third.
Yeah, a couple of roaches trying to delay the reinforcements coming back up and in, but the third base is getting a lot of damage done, but the cannons actually working down those Mutalisk numbers. The main base, though, is going to be the target of this attack. The cannons getting focused down one at a time, the Mutalisk trying to get some more probe kills and being pretty damn successful at it.
Ourk looks like he's trying to almost finish the game here because he has 50 Lings in production behind this as well. A couple of hallucinated Phoenixes here, maybe making Ourk perhaps think that a Stargate is there, but in actual fact, not one in sight. And now the Mutas continuing to be really annoying between the third and the main.
Now remember, the 2-1 upgrades are done for ABomb's ground compared to the 0-1 done for Ourk, so that still means there's a big upgrade advantage there. But the Mutalisks actually in the main base now picking off a good number of workers. In total, Ourk has killed 31 probes, so it's 24 drones he's lost himself, now dealing more economic damage even than before. The Stargate is getting started, but as you said, this is really late.
He has managed to kill off a decent number of the Mutas, though. Nice blink forward, picking a few more of them off. And now we have a big battle in the middle of the map as well. By the looks of things, as the Mutas fly out, are these Archons going to be able to hold up? A lot of Lings actually surrounding them right now, mainly Sentries and Immortals behind. No force fields were used in the creation of this film, by the looks of things. And now a couple of Overlords are going to get it en route to the third.
And this third base, remember, is still super low. Only 215 health sitting there. That's like one blink forward, one volley off the Stalkers, and then run away and it's dead. If Ourk loses this, he's only got the top left as his third. His main base is starting to get pretty damn low as well.
He needs to be very careful. And, well, let's see if ABomb can try and fling this momentum here. I think he's definitely going to get the third base, but the question is whether he'll be able to come in and get the natural expansion after that.
Well, Ourk's rallying all of his units up the top. He wants to go for the counter-attack, but I'm not sure what a good move that is. The third there falls for Ourk, and look at how many cannons there are, Jorasar. There's just wave upon wave, them warpins upon warpins, and some DTs there as well. If those Overseers go down, it'll all get cleaned up.
Very, very nice. Warping in as many units as possible to delay this push as much as he can. A lot of Mutas here means that Ourk will be able to get some damage done, but is this a brace he wants to get himself into? Lots of cannons, like you said. There will be a decent number of Stalkers as well. The natural is gone. And ABomb can move into the main base of Ourk now if he wanted to. And look, he's separating the army. The Stalkers are going home, and the heavy hitters are staying. So this could be a great decision for our Protoss.
Yeah, just a small group coming in to deal this damage, take out the main, is good, but what I remember that ABomb doesn't know about is this top left base, which could have triggered the base race from Ourk, knowing that actually, I know where all of his bases are, can I pick it off? But just look at the number of pylons around.
Yeah, this is, I'm afraid this is looking pretty difficult. The Muta's actually already in the middle of the map. They're having to run on home, but there's not much of a home to come back to at this point. And, well, these Dark Templar, these Zealots, the Immortals, the Sentries, they are picking apart everything in the main base. And even if the Mutas come home and clean this up at this point, ABomb is looking in a great position.
Yeah, he's still got his natural up. There are 29 Mutalisks there,
wow.
But the Archon Stalker Force... Ooh, this is going to be pretty close. Is it going to be able to come out in favor of ABomb? No, the Archon goes down. This could be a bit of a problem because all of the Stalkers are going up to the top left.
They are, and without a hatchery to call home... Ourk basically has to win this game with this army. I'm not sure he can do it. He does still have 1,000 minerals, by the way, so he will be able to make up to 3 hatcheries, but he has no infrastructure left, and ABomb does, and that's really the big issue right now. I mean, ABomb's income is, it's only 300 minerals a minute right now, but that's a lot higher than 0 metals, I can tell you that.
Now, is it infinitely higher or indefinably higher? You're the one who is...
It's infinitely higher.
So when is it infinitely and when is it indefinably?
It's indefinably higher when you can't even put a number on it. Because it's currently higher by 300, but it's infinitely higher because it's 300 effectively divided by 0. It's indefinably higher if it's 99999 income and you can't actually work out how much it is.
Okay.
Geeks rule the world. Alright, so the Muta's continuing to try and do some damage inside the main base, but I think Ourk is starting to recognize now that that's not going to be possible, and we have the GG. ABomb is going to take game